to make hard to make that happen. All right. Now, I'm just chilling for a bit because I was just waiting for some of the messages to get through. Hold on for a second. All right. So, basically, I just got off of doing a live, and now as I was going through to check my messages, I read something, and then it came across something that I had been predicting for a while, a minute, so to speak. All right, hold on for a second. Hold on. Let's see if this copied well. All right, I'm sending this out to some of my brothers. Hey y'all, I'm getting good. I'm kind of getting good at getting the message out. All right. All right. So, all right. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, y'all. Please forgive me for time's sake. I'm making sure. Oh, wow. Okay, what's up, Antonio Johnson? Any hizzy fascism and is it? In particular, what's up, Rolando? aka Power Man. Um, hey, beautiful Charlotte Swan in the hizzy for shizzy. What's up, gorgeous Charlotte Swan? My brother from did that wrong. What did I just do? Hold on for a second. There we go. Okay. So what's up, Elia? We got the beautiful Charlotte Swan in here. Okay. All right, y'all. This is going to be very important for this reason. I kept telling people time after time after time after time that we need to separate. All right. And one of the reasons that we needed to separate is the people that they were using to destroy us was going to be the ones next to us. All right. And basically, we have a chorus of detriment aimed specifically at the Afro man. All right. Specifically at the Afro man. All right. And it's kind of crazy. Hold on for a second. This is why we're having this discussion right now. So click the link in the clip that I showed you and join in on the discussion. Period. As a matter of fact, if you have something to say on the matter, come into the control room. All right. So basically, what's going on here is that, hold on for a second. Let me do one other thing. All right. Hold on. All right. One, there's an onslaught. There is an onslaught to try to get rid of the voice of the Afro male, to stop them from speaking about what's really going on. All right. One. Um, Part of the problem is this. I'm tired of the hoteps. Uh-huh. I feel you. Hey, what's up, Hunterette? Who else popped in here that I didn't see? Okay. All right. So let's get down to this. All right. We have a major problem that's going to be easy to deal with if we deal with it amongst ourselves. Oh, I am tomorrow. I'm having things checked up on, and probably Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll be leaving to come up to Georgia. All right, I'll be leaving to come up to Georgia. So all the fellas there, you know what time it is, and let's meet. Maybe the same place, maybe a different place, but and let me know if where we meet is a good place too. All in all, all right. One of the things is this. I said that you cannot keep doing wickedness to a people and not expect any repercussions. You just can't keep doing it. All right, especially when the people that you're doing the evil to are the ones just trying to wake up and follow the Most High. All right, now understand this when I say follow the Most High. I'm saying we're not going after looking, we're not going after following idols. We don't need an idol as representation. See, that's the difference between us. We understand the difference between idols and stuff and doing what we know in spirit the Most High wants us to do. All right, and that's why there is such an issue. Uh, um, that's why there's such an issue because we have the disconnect between what a lot of people understood as a form of spirituality and they created things to represent their place within that spiritual realm. All right.
What's up, Nabi?
Hey, what's up, man? What's up? Um, we got
Hey,
G.
some.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you.
I was just telling you on the line.
Somehow they let me come in on your hangout with my account that's been flagged down.
Hey, that's good. That's good. All right.
What's going on?
Oh, nothing much, because I need you to speak to stuff too, because you've been giving me a lot of information and stuff like that. Now, this new bit of information came to me from Tai Chi 29. But before I get into my stuff, let me give Guy King the floor to let him know what's been going on with the brothers' channels on YouTube.
It's definitely a race attack. First of all, we got to understand that. There's a lot of black men on YouTube right now who just don't get it. They think that we can follow the rules and the guidelines and it's going to keep us safe. And they're mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is getting rid of black men who are not leaning towards the left, leaning towards the liberals, leaning towards LGBT, and leaning towards the BW. Even some of the guys who are in favor of the BW are getting hit, like Robert Perkins. Robert Perkins lost his channel, what, a week ago? His big channel with 80 something thousand. And he a lot of times he takes the BW side, but then again, he's against white supremacy. So they're getting rid of brothers, and I don't think a lot of us are going to be allowed to grow channels anymore. I think that's a thing of the past. They got Willie D. Yo, you familiar with Willie D?
Yep.
They got both of his channels in 10 days. How do you take down two channels in 10 days?
Right. And I kept saying, and this is why even when I got stuff back up and I'm using all the resources at hand, I'm using these things to really deliver a message to us, the brothers, to let you know that I don't care what Google think they are. I don't care what the Caucasians in this country in general think they are. We have some that will stand up and say right is right and wrong is wrong. All right, but let's not get it twisted. The biggest enemy we have to us is us. Let's not get
Most
it
definitely.
twisted. All right, it's
Most
because
definitely.
it took them to bring awareness to our channels.
Well, let me say this. I agree with you, but then again, I have to still hold Google accountable.
Oh no, they're definitely accountable. See, once they were aware of our channels, then they could do what they want. See, Google is a
Right,
big entity, right?
right.
And so, how? Here's the thing: if basically the guys, my channel is so niche that I'm talking about the community in which I live and try to help. Period. Okay. And so I am going to speak to those that are coming onto my channel that kind of see the same things that I see and live in the community. I'm not going to have too many white people on my page with me talking about what's going on in my community because they don't live in my community. So they're going to go and to guys who are talking about what's going on in their community. And on some things we may converge, like on being more conservative and understanding that is the liberal mindset that is destroying families. All right,
Right.
we may have that. We might come, so, but the way we come at it, the way we talk, the lingo that I use and stuff like that, they won't relate to that. So they're going to go to the person that speaks to those issues that relate to it. So how did Google become aware of a lot of these black people's channels? All right, and there's a reason why, and I kept saying this was a discriminatory attack. Yeah, let's use that word, right? Discriminatory attack. That Google was discriminating against black men or Afro men or indigenous and aboriginal men. If you have melanin and you're speaking
For
to
sure.
this, if, and you're speaking to the issues that are going on in your community and the destruction that is going on in your community, right? Then they're coming after you. But Google, in and of itself, as a company, won't be aware of us. And so that's why they had this thing where they said it's community, the community, right? But the community don't watch my channel. How do you take down a video within an hour that is up?
That's right. I was gonna say that. Yep.
All
You're
right.
right. But then again, I think after they become aware of us, and this is something another YouTuber who I talked with, I'm not gonna say his name, but he had a big channel flag down earlier this year.
Uh huh.
He believes that they assign us agents.
Agents. Exactly.
Yep.
And they're
And
so, and here's the
but
thing. Let me say it like this. They're not going to look and see if you violate something egregiously. They're looking specifically to for ways to take down your channel with using their policies. If they cannot find a way to take down a black man's channel with using their policies discriminatory, then they change their policies without notification usually,
there you
then
go.
strike your channel and then
There
take
you go.
their new policy, which
Right.
they tweaked in order to take down your spot of the channel.
They'll
Another word,
take down an old video,
exactly,
a video that was up 10, 12 months ago that was following guidelines, but they changed the guidelines.
right. They changed the guidelines why people change or underwear. All right,
Yep.
that often. Okay, so it is this crazy. All right, it is this crazy. Now, as we speak to this, one of the things they wanted to keep us from being aware of is things that are going on in the. Did I get you $3 assassin? What's up, man? With which is, they don't want us to have an honest conversation about what this video is going to be about. But I wanted him to bring this up. See, and the reason why they're able to do this is, all right, once my other channel got up to 1,000, over 1,000 views and met the criteria for monetization, then they struck it again.
Exactly. That's what they're gonna do, and they're gonna keep doing it to a lot of us. There's so many brothers getting hit that are not even in our sector of YouTube. They're in totally different sectors.
Right.
They don't have any association with us. None of
And
the manosphere stuff, and they're getting hit.
right.
Even guys in the UK, Nabi, they got a brother in the UK that just got hit. This
right.
brother, he got 2 strikes. He don't even associate with black people much.
Right. But if you have dark skin, and I kind of believe this, if you have dark skin, YouTube is
Yep,
now discriminating against Afro peoples. All right. And since they pay people and deciding to only pay Caucasian left leaning people, there should be a
correct.
lawsuit up there for discrimination against Afro peoples, especially when we're not allowed to. All right, and this is the thing. When you were getting paid, and then they all of a sudden the next day take away your income. All right, but they decided to give it to Caucasian people only or left leaning people only,
That's
then
right.
that's a problem. And
That's
this is the problem because Google is too big to have those kind of discriminatory practices.
right. Can I speak on Shakama for a second?
Go ahead.
Shakama's another brother who he has a large channel. They've not flagged him down or anything, but what they're doing to him is fraud. And he did a video a couple of days ago saying that he's serious about taking YouTube to court because they offered him. Guess how much his AdSense check was? They
What?
tried to pay him. He was being literally honest. He said they tried to pay him 1 cent. He wasn't joking, and he had over 100,000 views that month,
Uh-huh.
and they offered him a penny. Seriously. And
Right.
he's a brother. He has money. He has the means to actually get a real law team together and real researchers. So I believe him that he might actually follow through with it
Shoot,
and
give
take
him
it to
my
court.
number. Give him my number.
Okay,
Because
I'll do
here's
that.
the thing. Of all the videos that they flagged, I put them up on other sources. And even Facebook, one of the videos that they flagged, the second video that they flagged on YouTube, Facebook looked at it because of the thumbnail picture, right? And Facebook went and looked at it and they said, oh, yeah, you're right. There is no nudity, and this isn't about sexuality. As a matter of fact, it was about the preachers using their pulpit to go after women. All right. And so it wasn't graphic sexuality or anything like that. It didn't have any nudity in it. Um, Google flagged it for nudity, and I know for sure because I gave them the Facebook count. And here's the thing that they're not doing: they're flagging it, and then they're upholding their flag, even though um, my videos don't meet the criteria for being flagged. But the thing that the Google's going to have a problem with is not only do I save the video that has been flagged, all right, but I saved it in the way that they flagged it. And because Facebook has it, it's on Facebook. So people can see that they flagged a video of mine for nudity that had no nudity or sexual content in it. This is how I know
Oh,
they don't watch the
I believe
video.
I believe just like I told you, one of my strikes that got my channel removed was on a video that was private. And when they sent me that email about it being flagged down, they told me if I appealed it, they said if you appeal this video, understand that you are giving our staff the permission to watch your private video. That tells me that they never looked at it in the first place.
Right. So
What?
they flagged the video that they never looked at. So they're
Yeah,
liars.
they're liars, man. But of course we know that.
All
But a
right.
lot of brothers don't. You got a lot of brothers. I can't tell you how many brothers there are in this manosphere that think if we just switch up our tactics, we're gonna be safe.
But here's the
And
thing.
no, no.
That's what happens when you base your channel on greed. All right. That's basically what happens when you base your channel on greed. Period.
Yep.
Um, what happens is this. If you are doing your channel because you're community conscious, then do it because you're community conscious, right? I right now I'm for all the stuff that I'm doing in the community, and y'all know, y'all see me do it, y'all know where I go, and some of y'all seen the videos, y'all know how dangerous it is the place I go to. All right, but you know I need to go because it's so dangerous. And if somebody like me could get in, then that's good, right? Now, it's the donations from the brothers from the channels that's been helping me to mitigate money that's coming out of my pocket to go there because Google is not paying me. All right. And basically, we now understand that they are discriminating. They are out and outright discriminating against melanated people, people of dark skin, and right leaning people, period, as a
Sure.
corporation. And they cannot do that as a corporation that pays people. All right. Because any corporation, once you start paying people a check, all right, for anything, our content and stuff like that, it's like it's like when the NFL wasn't looking at even giving them the opportunity to speak, right? They had to change that because they were breaking the law. All right.
Yep.
And so they're saying they could say, well, we got some token black people on. No, no, we can
Right.
show that not only are you not watching flagging the videos, but we can show that you're actively doing discriminatory practices against Afro peoples. All right. And
Yep.
how they became aware of this, and it goes back to 2017 March the 17th, where these black women decided to gather together as a group and start adpocalypse. Oh, and I still got the screenshots and everything from that too. See, I keep everything just in case somebody do decide to sue Google and stuff like that. I have a lot of the dirt that they've been doing or their people. And Google can say, as a corporation, we didn't know this was going on. No, we've been complaining about it. We've been making videos about it and stuff like that. And it's been going on. And Google has done nothing. They have allowed people to be discriminatory against Afro peoples.
I found out two things recently that I want to say. One, any channel that gets flagged down, you may already know this. All of your channel, all of the comments, and every video is actually still there.
Yes.
And if the proper measures are taken, it can come back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they don't delete the stuff out of a database. It remains there like pretty much forever, just in case they're ever taken to court.
Right.
They have to keep it there, so it's still there. That's how I'm talking to you right now on a channel that was flagged down a month ago.
Uh-huh.
Now, the other thing I found out from another YouTuber is, and I can't verify this because I have not looked at it myself, but he tells me that there is something scary in the guidelines that says if for any reason YouTube deems it necessary to remove any account, they reserve the right to do so. And it basically doesn't matter if you're breaking the rules or not. If that is true, if what he told me checks out to be true, we out of luck.
No, we're not.
But what I'm saying is they're going to continue removing accounts and
Oh, they're
saying,
going to see. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you didn't break any rules, but we deemed it necessary.
Right. But here's the thing. So this is why we're not out of luck. Because they're specifically moving black and right leaning channels.
True. Oh,
All
sure, it's
right.
discrimination for sure. It's
It's
no question.
so it's they're discriminating against the Afro peoples and the right leaning channels. Now let's get into to the meat of why I brought this video up. All right. Now I want y'all to take a look at this exhibit. I don't know what to call it. All right. But I want y'all to take a look at this 10 hours ago. All right. So y'all see this? That's what's going. Y'all see what's going on, right? All right. So as we get back to MTO, Washington. Jeez. Okay, there we go. Washington, D.C. Health Annual Report claims that they uncovered a record number for STDs and new HIV diagnoses among young people. Oh, okay, STDs. And a new HIV diagnosis among young people represent 41% of higher rate over the past 10 years. But HIV isn't the only STD on the rise in the nation's capital. According to the report, there were 10,157 cases of chlamydia, a 35% increase from 213 to 217, and 5,070 cases of gonorrhea, an increase in 56%. STDs among teenagers even worse. A study found that chlamydia rose by 19% and gonorrhea soared 36%. Okay. Now you see this in big, bold, black letters.
I've got a theory, brother.
Oh, yeah. Trey Glitch has the theory too. 80/20 lives on. Hold on. But hold on. Was very curious is the black. But here's where the report drops a bombshell. Now, if you've been paying attention to my channel and all the charts and information that I put up, and the 13% of black females versus 65% of the new HIV cases and stuff like that, then this should not come as a surprise to you on my channel. All right. But here, this is where they go. But here's where the reports drops a bombshell. Black men who have sex with men. Now remember, I told you this that in the labs and when we're doing this research and stuff like that, if you are a man, if you come to donate blood or plasma, we will ask you a question on the list. Since 1977, have you had sex with a man that has sex? I mean, have you ever had sex with a man or a woman who have had sex with a man who's had sex with a man since 1977, even once? All right, that's an automatic disqualifier from donating blood or plasma. All right, so even if you're bi or tri or omni, all right, this all applies to them. We see one thing: you had sex with a man at one point in your life. All right. So black men who has have black men who have sex with men. Hold on. Let me read this again. But here's where the report drops a bombshell. Black men who have sex with men and black women that engage in heterosexual contact account for the highest portion of newly diagnosed HIV cases. Hold on. Let me read that again. Here's where and then Guy King, you could give me your theory, and then I'm gonna tell you what I have to say about it. All right, but here's where the report drops a bombshell. Black men who have sex with men and black women who engage in heterosexual contact. So the black men who have sex with men and the black women who engage with heterosexual content contacts account for the highest portion of newly diagnosed HIV cases, according to the point. These groups are considered high risk for HIV in the district. Do you know who's not? Did you catch who's not? Who is not considered a high risk group is heterosexual black males.
That's
Why
because of the
is that?
80/20. 80/20.
There you go.
but
There
but
you
let
go.
let
And
me
it's
say
deeper
this.
than that. It's deeper than that. Go ahead.
I can't take credit for this because I first heard this from In the Black Media, a brother named TJ that was a part of their panel. He believes, and I strongly agree with him, especially with what I see in my area. I'm gonna ask you a question to present my theory.
Okay.
What have we seen increase at the same time that we've seen the BW increase in disease? You know what we've seen?
What?
We've seen them dating white men.
Wow.
And his theory, which I'm definitely a supporter of, I'm gonna have to make it my own theory. He thinks that the interracial dating amongst the sisters is what's doing this.
Well, that would also stand to reason because at the end of the day, the heterosexual black males, all right, the ones that the black women are leaving alone, all right, we are not we are not affected by what's going on between them. Now, I have another theory too. All right. It's not only the 80-20 rule, but it's who the 20% gets to screw. Remember, the I was going to do a story and I'm still going to do one, a video on a guy that had 30 children. He's asking the state to come in and help and this, that, and the other. All them women knew each other. The women laughing at the guy, but the person that's looking like suckers are the women that are now raising children that can only get $1 each from this guy in child support. Okay. Not only that, all right, as I said before, most of the um most of the thugs have multiple women. All right.
Oh yeah.
And what's worse is this, and this is something that I learned from a cousin. He is flaming homosexual. All right. Flaming. Has a white boyfriend, or at the time he had, I don't know what he's doing now, but he had a white boyfriend, and while he had the white boyfriend walking around with his white boyfriend, girls were still asking him to screw them.
See?
He went through so many girls in an apartment complex, it's ridiculous. And
Well,
one that was
yep,
liking me had screwed him, and I said, "No, you can never talk to me."
yep. Let me add something else too,
Go ahead.
and one of the reasons why I believe in the theory I was just talking about. When I was in Africa, I saw where you could have a group of white dudes from Ireland, group of white dudes from Germany. You would have like two or three guys from one country or the other, and they would go around with free access to get in between the legs of every African chick in the freaking town. Who's
Hmm.
to say these dudes just wasn't passing out some kind of disease to all these African chicks?
And they could,
And they could very well do it because look, if Africa was so diseased the way that they say Africa is, why were these white boys so comfortable sleeping with all these women?
because they're the ones that's passing it around.
I'm saying, man,
All
and I
right.
see it in my area. The young chicks, they chasing these white boys, man, and it's
All right, now here's the other thing. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, we need to," and I'm gonna segue into this. Everybody kept saying, "Oh, you need to go. We need to go to Africa, man. Africa, that's the motherland." I keep telling people that we may not be from there. We know that 98% of us are not. All right. The motherland for others, South America. This is our motherland. We were here before any Caucasians or um, red men, so to speak, or Mongolian, as the proper scientific term would be. The Negroid were here before the Caucasoid and the Mongoloid. All
That's
right.
right.
Tens of thousands of years before the Mongoloids. All right. So this is the motherland for us. Now, I kept saying we need to go to places like in South America for this reason. People is like, oh well, people would try to scare you. Oh, the women in Brazil got all that HIV, and no, they don't. The people that are coming down with the diseases, and I know this for sure because I had a while I was down there this last time before I came back. Okay. I spoke with a guy from another NGO. He was there. He's supposed to be sending me some data too. And I'm supposed to send him some data. But anyway, I spoke with this guy. I don't know. He might be listening to this, but and he speaks English, so that'll be okay. And so basically, um, so he had the data for the Department of safety or something like that. Is there a CDC for Brazil, right? And where he was saying that the biggest population of outpouring of HIV and AIDS in Brazil is amongst the transgendered. All right, and I had a theory about that. And that would be the European explosion that came over there was able to do whatever they want to the children and all of that because the mothers gave it up to whatever to them because at this time it was like if you want to better your race you will become lighter and this that and the other, but they created a bunch of children that they left there to be prey for the next segment of Europeans that came there and have their way, and so in Brazil, sexuality is free hearted. All right, sexuality is as a matter of fact, depending on where you are and how you want to deal with it. All right, so in the context of a family man woman relationship, you'll find that. But at nighttime, you better watch your back of what might be rolling up to you. That's all I'm
Right.
saying. At
I'm
nighttime, it might not be the right time.
yeah. I'm not saying DC is necessarily wrong about their statistics on the high risk BW.
No, they're absolutely right because all the data that I've been
Right.
putting out for the past 5, 6 years have
Mhm.
stated that this was the case. They're just coming around to it now. I put out the chart since 2010. All right. So since 2010, this chart from the CDC, black women were 13% of the female population. They were the 65% of the new HIV cases, right? Along with the abortion rates that I was putting out, where and I have to make a correction from my last video because I left out some information. All right. When I said that the BAW has had murdered 22 million Afro peoples through abortion since 1977. All right. And that's not counting the state of California, Maryland, and New Hampshire. If you counted that, it'd be up to 56 million. I didn't give all the information. The information that I gave was there was over 58 million abortions. And of those 58 million abortions until 2016, the black woman accounted for 37% of those abortions, right? And then if you do, they're averaging about 1,000 abortions a day. And if you add that total up to what it would get to as far as 2018, from 2000 from 1973 to 2018, that would make their abortion rate of Afro peoples well over 22 million souls lost in their womb. All right. And that's how that I come to that number. Now, because we don't know what the rate is and would be if you add in California, since abortions actually started in California or New York, I can't remember. But you ask at California, one of the most populous state for minorities, and Maryland, well, Washington D.C. You see, so if you add in the state of California and Maryland, all right, it's scary. It may be over 50 million. All right, Afro peoples destroyed through abortion.
Well, the black women are in trouble. I just not only this AIDS thing you're telling me about, but I found out recently, a couple of days ago, they're saying black women are at higher risk of being killed by police unarmed. They're saying, like, for instance, out of 100 instances where a black woman unarmed has with police officers, more
Mm.
of them die than black men die per 100.
Wow.
That's very interesting.
Well,
Now,
here's
of
the
course,
thing.
they have a total number of less run-ins with the cops, but I'm just saying they have a higher percentage
They have a higher
of,
percentage because they have
of
less
death.
running. Well, because
Yep,
basically we're not calling the police on them, so they don't have a higher run-in with the police. But when they do have run-in with the police, we've seen how they act with the police. They act privileged. They act
that's right.
superior to them. They act violent to them.
Hmm. Yep, and the article some it was one of those articles I was seeing because I saw a couple of them. It was saying that the news is purposely hiding this because they don't want black women to like to know. They want black women to
Uh,
basically still be running around thinking that they're privileged right now when they're not.
right, right. Now, and here's the thing. This woman I thought was a sister, she lived by me, right? She wanted to complain to me about my videos. I said, "Did I lie?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, what about?" And she said, "Well, I don't know." Okay, then how do you know if I lied? All right. She was mad at, she watched two videos out of thousands of videos that I put up. She watched two. And she's like, I just couldn't get past it because you, the black women and the things you said about all these, this, that, and the other. And then she told me, which I was aware, she only has one child. She said, and she got it through a marriage with one man. All right. And so I said to her, did you fit at anything the women that I was talking about? She said, "Well, but I'm a black woman and I'm a sister." I said, "No, you can't be two. Because when I define sister on there, all right, you can't take my definition and rework it for your thing and want to include yourself in one. I'm trying to figure out who the women that are for us are and who the women are that are against Afro men that tell the truth. You can't be both. Either you identify as the women, the ones that have brought all this disaster, this depravity, and this destruction to our community, or you are a sister, the one that support the Afro men that are standing up, that's speaking about it, all right, and that have a desire to be with us if you can, all right, but you might not be able to because of distance, but you support us anyway. You are crying out to Yah, and you are crying out and saying, yes, this is not right. Also, right? And I said, if you're not doing that, if you don't have the back of Afro men, then you're not a sister. I don't care what you think you are. You're my enemy. You're my adversary. All right. And and I have to look at you like that because you don't mean me any good.
But let these brothers tell it. She's the queen.
Right. And so, and that's why these brothers are going to be destroyed. And all these dudes, and I'm gonna tell you something. All these dudes that are straight up simping, all right, all these dudes that are straight up simping, I'm gonna tell you what's going to happen to them. Men like me, because we have wised up and Guy King, we won't.
It is. It really is too much information out here between all of us, all the brothers that's been sharing this wisdom for the last couple of years online.
Oh,
I know
hey,
too much. I've seen too much in my own life. I can't deal with them. It's like holding dynamite, man.
right. Hey, we got Mr. Pirate Brains on. Hey, did y'all see his channel? I shared it on my oh, our